once that happened, I said, all right, let's do this. This is what you want to do. This is what you're excited about doing. Go make it happen. I got on an airplane and traveled the world for the next 7 months. Dubai and Thailand and other parts of East Asia, Europe, and just like had a blast exploring and seeing the world. I went home, I signed up, started packing my stuff, getting my medical, and just left and came out here. It's unbelievable that we can do something in such a compressed period of time. I mean, I made it. I did it, baby.
Hey Slingers, it's Matthew from Sling Pilot Academy. I am super excited for this week's video. It's the first of its kind that we've done. It's Tyler's exit interview. So I remember when Tyler came up to our booth at Oshkosh, and even when he started, and it feels like the blink of an eye and he's already done. So stay tuned to hear all about his journey, how he got started, and what he's moving on to next. Enjoy the video.
My name is Tyler Sailsbery. I'm at Sling in Torrance, California, and yeah, I just hit my 1,500 hours. Woo! This is the thing, you know. In college, you go for a graduation certificate. Here we go for the 1,500 hour mark, and so you know, it's a lot of work and it's a lot of studying and you know, a few scary things along the way. But then you get it. You get the 1,500, and you're all of a sudden more hireable. So you get to move on to whatever's next. I'll be flying a jet for a company called Wheels Up. So we have a floating fleet of jets that travel around the US, and then I just fly to the airplane and then fly the airplane and then fly home. So it's a pretty cool gig, and I get to stay in this area for a while, which is exciting. So I was really lucky, and I got to start some restaurants, which was really cool, and it was a successful project, and I really enjoyed it for a long time. But then it became all of my life, and nights, weekends, holidays, and when I wasn't there, I couldn't stop thinking about it. I knew that I enjoyed aviation. I was a flight attendant in college, and I thought, you know what, this is a job where at the end of the day I can get off the airplane and I can go home and I don't have to think about what's next. And so that was something that was a big draw for me, was being able to leave work at work. But also I knew that I was not gonna fit in a 9-to-5 office job where I was sitting at a computer all day long. I needed something where there was gonna be some travel, some excitement, some change, meeting new people. And so aviation was definitely an interest. I took my first experimental flight in 2019, so it was like an intro flight. I was interested, but I still owned 3 restaurants at that time, so there was no chance I was going to be able to do flight training. So eventually I said, you know what, this is what I want to do. I need to sell the restaurants. I had to wait till COVID kind of passed before I could do that. And then once that happened, I said, all right, let's do this. This is what you want to do. This is what you're excited about doing. Go make it happen. Well, I got a little sabbatical, so I sold December 31st. I got on an airplane and traveled the world for the next 7 months. Dubai and Thailand and other parts of East Asia, Europe, and just like had a blast exploring and seeing the world. So I did that for 7 months. Then I came back right before EAA, which is really amazing, the largest air show in the United States. Stumbled upon Sling. This is what I need. I need something that has some structure, but also seems laid back and chill enough that I'm not gonna get overwhelmed or feel too stressed out about it. And I walked up to the booth and I was like, this might just work. Didn't know a bunch of people. I didn't know very many people in the aviation industry. NGPA, and NGPA is the National Gay Pilot Association, so I dragged them over to the booth. I'm like, I don't know what questions to ask. I need you to interview Sling for me. And so they did, and I knew I wanted to do this. And they told me they had a class starting in about 15 days. Thought, I can move in 15 days. You know, it's crazy, but this is just the kind of change I need in my life to make it happen. So I went home, I signed up, started packing my stuff, getting my medical, and just left and came out here. 2 of the people that I talked to a bunch, Ricky and Leslie, flew our TSI out there. You know, they took their time coming back, and Ricky always jokes that I beat him back. He left Oshkosh in an airplane, and I left Wisconsin to move here, and I beat him here. So that was always the joke. But it's pretty much true. I knew this is what I wanted to do, and I could wait and eventually come to the same conclusion that this is the best choice for me, or I could just do it now. And I did it now, and that's my advice to people is like, don't wait. Like I said, my intro flight was in 2019 in a Cessna, and then my logbook just sat empty because I just didn't take my control of my own life and I didn't make the choice to go do what I knew I was going to do and I wanted to do. So that's what Oshkosh was for me, that's what EAA was for me, and that was Sling. What Sling was to me. It was taking control of my own life and taking control of what happens next. So I'm just excited to continue to fly. I know that sounds dorky. I still want to be involved in helping other people find their dreams, chase their dreams. So see myself helping that happen, whether that be to some degree still at Slings, stopping in and checking in, but also at Wheels Up, or wherever happens after that. I want to help people train and grow and be better at what they do. This was something that you learned over years and years and years. And these compressed programs are a much newer thing. So it's a lot of information, and it's a lot of work, and it's a lot of being prepared and being thoughtful in what you're working on and stuff like that. It's been truly an adventure. Of the exciting days, the first time you fly an airplane on your own and that's solo, to the days you're studying for written, just eating boxes of caramel popcorn just so you can continue to answer questions. It's unbelievable that we can do something in such a compressed period of time. So my biggest obstacle was me. I think it was really hard for me to come from something that I was good at to come and be not good at all. Flight training, we have this tendency to compare ourselves to everyone else and the progress they're making, and then we beat ourselves up. And the harder you are on yourself during flight training, the harder flight training is. When you're relaxed and you're having a good time, it's easy for your mind to absorb everything. But when you're being hypercritical of yourself, it just slows the training down in general. I really had to remove myself from comparing myself to other people and not being frustrated when something didn't come super fast to me. So that was the challenge. It was me. I think most people, you're your own worst enemy in flight training. Well, the most fun thing was when I stopped being afraid of the airplane. For a long time during my training, I had to understand the magnitude of what I was doing. I am flying an airplane over a populated city. So I was afraid for a while, but then I eventually understood how the airplane worked, and that it was a tool in my hand, and that I could make the tool do the things that I wanted it to do. And when I stopped being afraid of the airplane, I really got to have a lot more fun flying. I really got to use the tool the way it was made, and I got to understand my limits and the airplane's limits, which made it a lot more fun. I would say, go do it. So that's step number one. And recognize early on the amount of bookwork that's involved. You are flying an airplane. You need to spend more time on the ground than you do in the air. The air is fun, and it's all fun to some degree, but there's a lot of bookwork involved. So I would say study for some things like the written early on. Just start engrossing yourself in it. And do exactly that, engross yourself in it. Be surrounded by people that are passionate about aviation, because it will be a lot easier for you. Ooh. There were a lot of amazing achievements. I mean, I made it. I did it, baby. The crazy reality, and I don't quote me exactly on the statistic, but there's something like 80% of people that start flight school stop. And so just completing your training is a huge deal, and I think you're set up to be able to do that better here, so it's a little bit easier, but just the fact that I did it. I got to the point where I did 1,500 hours, and I got to train so many people. And honestly, highlights for me changed from being things that I was working on to watching students succeed, and seeing them overcome their own challenges, which was just unbelievable. I wasn't sure I would love training, but then I started loving training. Training other people. It became really fulfilling to watch them just accomplish what they were set out to do. Yeah, there is community here, and that's the thing that I love. That people have an investment in knowing who you are, what you're working on, and how to get you moving along. You're not a number here, you're a human being that has human interactions. My private instructor fit his 1,500. Jamie walked in when my instructor was leaving, and she had tears in her eyes. And that was a thing that was like, oh wow, these people really do care. They're not, just trying to get money from us. They're not just trying to push us through or use us as instructors, but they have a genuine interest in us and our success. You find a huge community, but then you also find your circle. And I think that that's so important. Because of the size, you have this huge community of supporters and awesome people, but then you'll find the people that you can learn with well, where your personalities mesh, where you can be a strength for somebody else's weakness and they're a strength for your weakness. And so I think it's cool to have this big community, but then also because it's so large, you can find these core people that really help you dive in and push you forward. Well, it's funny because, you know, I have an amazing family, but at first they're like, we're gonna get in an airplane with you. You know, my dad was like, you just started training and you want me to get in an airplane with you. But now they've seen all the accomplishments I've made. Actually, my mom's coming next week and I will finally get to take her flying, which is gonna be a lot of fun. So I'm gonna take a break from my new training, buzz out here and take my mom around. And it's fun to see them go from like a little hesitant to excited to see this happen. So. One of the other things that I love about Sling is I love that maintenance is right on site. I love that you get to see these boxes that are behind me come in and turn into airplanes. And you see the people that are invested in making safe airplanes. I also think the fact that we have our maintenance on site allows them to remember that we're human beings flying these airplanes. And I think they care a lot because they see us every day. And they know that their responsibility or job is to protect us and keep us safe. And so I think having that camaraderie among us and our maintenance crew is super important. I think our airplanes are amazing. I think, you know, I keep hearing that people struggle in the next steps because they are using automation for the first time. Well, we incorporate automation in flying pretty early on, which is pretty amazing. So it's exciting to be in a place with brand new equipment that I think is going to better prepare me for what's next.
Sometimes we do cakes and things, but you've chose to do something differently. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so again, the thing that I love about Sling is it really is something where I always say, you are responsible for your destiny and you get to do what you want. It's not so structured. And for a while, everybody was getting a cake when they hit 1,500 and we're leaving. And I was like, heck no, I want an ice cream sundae bar. So we are gonna have hot fudge and caramel and Oreos and ice cream. And we're gonna celebrate my final farewell temporarily, because I'm sure I'll stop back. But my final farewell for now with ice cream sundaes, which I'm excited about. Yeah, so the crazy thing is I was trying to wean myself out. So I've been flying at Compton, which is kind of like a little offshoot airport that we're using right now. These people are really my family, and I was like, I need to start weaning myself back because I really do care a lot about these people. It really is a family. You get to watch them win and lose. They get to watch you win and lose. You understand the same struggles and the same challenges, and you get to experience the same success. And so it is sad to leave because I want to continue to be a cheerleader for them. I want to continue to watch them succeed and move forward. So it really is a goodbye for now, but I will definitely try to stay with my ear to the door, listening to what's happening and trying to be a part of this family.
Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel and we appreciate it. And drop a comment to let Tyler know goodbye and good luck.
All right. That's it. Sweet. That was my final interview. Sling.
Congratulations.
I know. Let's get some ice cream.
We're public. You do a good job.